Hey, thanks for being with us today. Thanks for joining and bearing the cold weather with us. We're extremely excited about this day. It's been a long time coming for this property, for our company. We'd like to thank everybody for making the trip out, everybody who's involved in this process. And as I was preparing a few remarks before we got started, I thought about all of the unbelievable financial investments into this project and all the many financing tools, the low-income housing tax credits, the city's Affordable Housing Trust Fund. And I could spend time talking about that, but this morning I'd rather talk a little bit about the teamwork that made this project come together. I'd like just to start, I think it was 4, maybe 5 years ago when the owner of our company came to Lisa Von Holly and Brian Lloyd and said, I'd like something to happen at Parkway Plaza. And then she dropped that in their laps, and for a long time they worked tirelessly to have this project come to where it is today. So we have to thank them, have to thank our many financial partners with Red Capital, CREA, the City of Lexington, Kentucky Housing Corporation. We have to thank our staff who has continued to work tirelessly even this morning to have this place ready and to make sure that our residents are having a good experience and being treated correctly through this process. And I have to thank our residents, if any of them are here, for their patience with us in this fairly long, drawn-out process that I'm sure they felt like would never end, but here we are. I have to thank Tom Fielder, who's not here with us today, a consultant that worked with us to push this through. And then, of course, I have to thank our construction team, who was here for roughly 18 months, led fearlessly by my dad, who delayed his retirement to make sure that this project was done well. I have to thank the great team down at City Hall with Councilwoman Evans, the rest of the City Council, and Mayor Gray for their leadership in establishing an affordable housing fund in our city to fund projects just like this all over the city of Lexington. And before we kick off the rest of the program, I do have to give a special thanks to someone who couldn't be here with us today. Excuse me. Dudley Ives of Necto Architecture, our architect on this project, tragically passed away a few weeks ago. He was a mentor to me at this place, and as you can see, his work will last for many more years. So if you would, before we get started, join me in a moment of silence to honor Dudley Ives. Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, without further ado, I'd like to invite our first guest speaker here, our financial partner with Red Capital, Joey Hague.
Hi, I'm Joey Hague with Red Capital Group. Just a few words to say. First, everyone at Red Capital would like to just thank everyone at Winterwood, especially Lisa and Brian, for allowing us to be part of this project, for making sure we would continue in supporting this project. We'd like to thank Tom for his hard work and helping us to get through this. Zach had mentioned that it was 4 or 5 years that this project had been going on. We started first talking about this project in 2012, so it was 6+ years at least, and I'm sure that was just when we started talking about it. I'm pretty sure that Lisa and Brian and Tom had been talking about it for much longer, and more importantly, Carol and Buster had been thinking about this project for even longer. During that 6 years, we had experienced a number of problems, of obstacles that I couldn't even imagine to bore people with details, but the technical difficulties that we were able to overcome through all the hard work of the working group was just really amazing. And there were many times, and I'm sure Brian and Lisa can attest, that everyone was really about to throw their hands up and just say, I don't know that we can push this ball any further up this hill, but somehow we were all able to do it, and this is what we got. And so just really like to say thank you for allowing us to be part of the team, and really appreciate it and look forward to the next one. Thank you.
Thanks, Joey. This time we'd like to welcome Jeremy Ratliff from the Kentucky Housing Corporation.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jeremy Ratliff. I am the General Counsel at Kentucky Housing Corporation, and prior to being in that role, I was the Managing Director of Multifamily Programs. So I got to be involved with this project at a couple of different levels. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning, and on behalf of the Board of Directors and the staff of Kentucky Housing Corporation, I'm pleased to be here on this brisk, beautiful fall morning in Lexington. Affordable housing is really the launching pad for families in Kentucky, for seniors in Kentucky, and for those who may have special needs in Kentucky. When you think about what leads to success in life, good jobs, good education, the foundation for all of that is safe housing that you can come home to every night and know that you're going to be safe and have a good place to live when you get home from work, when you get home from school, and you can study and you can relax after a hard day at work. So housing is the baseline. Affordable housing is not cheap housing, as you can see, and as you'll see if you go through the tours today. It's affordable because a variety of people come together with a variety of resources that allow projects such as this to be affordable to the tenants because they're not overburdened with debt. So KHC was pleased to be able to provide financing to this project. We provided an equity bridge loan. We provided low-income housing tax credits of about $354,000 that Reg Capital turned into a little over $4 million in equity. And we were able to allocate some affordable housing trust fund dollars of $300,000 and of course provide tax-exempt bond financing for the project. I would also like to thank, while we're here, Mayor Gray for his commitment to affordable housing. He and his administration have been a tremendous partner with Kentucky Housing Corporation during his tenure here in Lexington. We've been able to successfully complete a number of excellent projects for the citizens of this city. And we just appreciate his commitment to the project. And I'd like to thank also Rick McQuady, who's not in attendance today, but he's been former executive director of Kentucky Housing Corporation, but he administers the city's trust fund, and we really appreciate his partnership and everything. I'd like to thank Winterwood. They're a great partner of ours on many projects, and we look forward to a continued relationship with them. I'd like to thank Reg Capital, LFUCG, of course, and CREA. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, at this time, we'd like to welcome someone who is familiar with this project, having worked here in several different capacities, both publicly and privately. Angela Evans, our City Councilwoman.
Good morning, and welcome to the 6th District. It is my pleasure to speak on behalf of the residents of both Parkway Manor and just the district in general. Just a little history lesson for those of you that don't know. Shoreland used to be an amusement park and was known as the best amusement park in the Bluegrass. So I want to take a moment to say especially thank you to Winterwood for investing not just in Parkway Manor, but in the neighborhood in general, because it is a special place, and it's a place that people kind of forgotten about, but it is very special to this neighborhood and the neighborhood association. So they are very happy that you all have invested in this area, and I wanted to say a special thank you to you on behalf of them and again the residents. So this project, if I'm correct, and I believe Rick McQuady gave me the notes, so I think I am, that this was the first project that the city allocated funds from the Affordable Housing Fund, which I believe was $159,000 of a pre-developed loan from the Affordable Housing Fund. So it's the first completed project. So it was pretty amazing, and it was one of the first things that I've been able to see to completion since my term 2 terms here on council, so it's pretty amazing to see something from the very beginning to completion. So, and again, it's been amazing, and I just want to thank you all for taking the investment and taking the time to really invest in affordable housing, because it is something that we truly need and we need more of. And it is campaign season, and I'll tell you this little short story that I've experienced as I've been knocking on doors, because we're going to need more of it. I did run into a lady that her house is going into foreclosure. You know, circumstances, you know, her husband's sick. She's trying to provide for him, but it just got overwhelming. She'd gone through the hardest hit fund and everything, but it just got too overwhelming. So they're going to lose their house. So affordable housing is just going to become much more important to the citizens of Lexington. So thank you for this project, for the renovation, and we need more of it. So I'm certainly committed to making sure the fund stays and dedicating more funds to it. And I hope you encourage others to invest in such projects as well, because it's going to be much more important to the city of Lexington. Unfortunately, but as you said, it is a stepping stone, and we need it, and it's a good thing, and it's something that only helps us and helps us all. So again, congratulations on this project, and again, thank you on behalf of the citizens, the residents, and I'm just happy to see it. Thank you.
Well, at this time, and you've heard it several times today, but we'd like to welcome Mayor Gray to come speak, and his leadership in affordable housing in our city in his terms as our mayor has been unparalleled, and it has made projects like this happen all over the city, and his legacy will continue to make projects like this happen all over our city as well. So, Mayor Gray.
Thanks a lot, Zach, and it's great to be with everybody. What a crowd. You all, I don't want to hold you all too long, though. I'm going to remember the 5 B's of public speaking. Be brief, brother, be brief, because I've got the sun to my back, and I can tell that you all don't. But it is great to be crowding the winner's circle today. This is exciting. I have to confess, Zach, that 2 things. One, being in a family business, I have a lot of respect for what you all have been able to accomplish. The whole family has worked together, and I hear that, Fred, you were telling me that Carol is with her a newly born number 4 grandchild today. Okay, so that's the reason Carol couldn't be here. But this is a family initiative, and so many beyond the family, of course, that extended family in a business at Winterwood that has been able to accomplish this. You know, I have to confess that I am humbled, both humbled and proud, that 6 years ago I made the budget commitment of $2 million to affordable housing. And it really, Lexington was the first city in the state to do it. Louisville had made a commitment years ago and put $1 million in. But we made a commitment. We sort of said, this is nothing short of a miracle, but we got to do it. Let's jump in there with $2 million, a commitment of $2 million a year. Now, we were encouraged by many members of the BUILD Coalition. Some of you all may be familiar with BUILD. Angela is, certainly, because we'd gone to their convocations routinely. And the BUILD Coalition, a collection of ministries of faith community around the city, they were just wonderfully relentless in coming to city council meetings and insisting that we do more. And I thought at the first, I says, well, we're just coming out of the recession, and I was saying, how in the world can we add $2 million a year to this, and how will it materialize into meaningful projects? Well, the good news is, just like this project right here, $159,000 in a pre-development loan that was pivotal. Joy, you mentioned it. Jeremy, you mentioned it. You all know about it because you've seen it. But that $2 million a year, total of $12 million now that the city is committed to affordable housing, has translated into almost 10 times that amount in projects. Almost 112, well, not almost, but $112 million in projects. And that's 1,400 units across our city. So 12 million translates into, this leverages itself into 10 times that amount and 1,400 units of affordable housing. And so far, Jeremy, I don't think any city, I should be more immodest about this, but with 71 days yet, with just 71 days to go in my administration, I'm going to be fully immodest and say that I don't think anybody in the state has done as well as that. But the deal is, just like Angela's story, there's so many people that are impacted by doing the right thing. When it's done from the head and the heart, then it's a good thing. And so it's really inspiring to be with you all today. It's rewarding to be with you. And we all join together in congratulating everyone who has been a part of this project and is now enjoying the fruits of that labor. Thank you all. Thanks.
Well, again, thanks everybody for being here. We are going to take a quick minute, have all of our guest speakers and our development team to the property sign to have a ceremonial ribbon cutting and take a few pictures. And at that time, we are going to allow everybody who wants to tour our office. And we have a residence unit to tour as well, D11. So building D, straight back this way. And we'll have a few people walking that way. And would love for you guys to see that unit and love for you guys to see our community space here. So if you would, join us in front of the property sign.
Hi, everyone.
Everybody smiling. 1, 2, 3.
I need some folks to hold it.
There we go. Look,
Grab that other side over there. Pull it. Tight. There you go.
it's like, there you go. There we go. Yeah!